Hello everyone and welcome to another video. As you guys already know, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is already released, and so we'll be talking about the system requirements we need to run Black Ops 3. There were some issues connecting online for both Xbox One and PS4 versions of the game. I haven't tried the PC version yet, but some people had a few problems, so you might see a patch in the near future. With that being said, let's take a look at the requirements for Black Ops 3. Call of Duty franchise usually has optimized game and lower hardware requirements compared to other AAA titles. Black Ops 3 wasn't different. The minimum requirements were much lower compared to games like Fallout 4, Star Wars Battlefront and other AAA titles. For CPU, the minimum requirements are Intel Core i3-530 and the AMD Phenom 2 X4810. The Core i3 mentioned is from the first generation. Any Core i3 from the third and fourth gen will run the game just fine. So it's quite clear you'll be able to play the game in decent settings at a decent frame rate with any Core i5. I don't think you need a Core i7 to play the game at the highest settings. We'll have to wait to see if the game runs on dual-core CPUs like the Pentium G3258, but I have a feeling that it would work on a dual-core CPU. If you want to know all the updates, make sure to follow me on Twitter or Facebook page, link in the description. From AMD's side, you'll be able to play the game just fine at medium to high settings without a problem with the FX 6300 or the FX 8350. So as far as the CPU is concerned, the requirements are not too high. It has a minimum requirement of 6GB of memory, so 8GB of memory will be enough to play the game even at the highest settings. For OS, you need a 64-bit Windows 7, 8 or 10, but who doesn't have a 64-bit Windows nowadays? Now it's time for the graphics card. The graphics card requirements are not that high as well. The minimum requirements for GPU are the GTX 470 and HD 6970. GTX 470 is somewhat similar to the GTX 750 Ti in performance, so having GTX 750 Ti as minimum requirements is not much of a big deal compared to other AAA titles. With GPUs like the GTX 950, you'll be able to play the game at decent settings with a decent frame rate at 1080p. From AMD's side, HD 6970 is similar to the R7 265 in performance. People with budget builds usually have the R7 260 or the 260X. Both the GPUs will run the game just fine at 1080p in low to medium settings. Having GPUs like the R9 370 will allow you to play the game at medium to high settings without a problem. For hard drive, you need 60GB of free space. That might seem a lot for Call of Duty games, but games nowadays are much bigger than what they used to be. Surprisingly, no recommended settings were released for Black Ops 3, but as far as the minimum settings are concerned, you'll be able to play the game at medium to high settings without a problem with a mid-range gaming build. You don't need a beefy graphics card to run Black Ops 3. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more computer tech and gaming videos like this twice a week. I am Abstechie and see you later.